Turning now to campaign 2020, mail-in ballots are starting to be turned in, and early voting is already underway ahead of next Tuesday's primary election. There are quite a few high-profile races, including the race for Miami-Dade County mayor.
This week will feature the four major candidates from interviews they did earlier with CBS 4's Jim DeFede. Let's start the series tonight with current County Commissioner Esteban Bovo.
Do you see yourself as the Republican candidate in this mayoral race?
I see myself, Jim, as the candidate that's representing the homeowner and business owner, the property taxpayer in this community. I see myself as the candidate that just wants to make sure that county government and its dollars are being spent wisely in the, meet the expectation that residents want. Whether you're a Democrat, independent, or Republican, and you're a homeowner, I would suspect that you don't want your money being misspent. And that's the constituency that I've spoken to loudly, and I've been consistent in every forum that I've gone to, that I believe any program that the county initiates should try to serve a greater good and should meet the expectation of a lot of the residents in Miami-Dade County, which, quite honestly, over the course of the last couple of years has been kind of drifting into more social engineering. And I'm not sure if county government was designed for that. We provide service, police, fire. We repair your street, we cut the grass in the medium, and in many instances, we start failing there. We start doing budget cuts in those areas to fulfill other areas of that perhaps sometimes a very loud minority would like.
You have the endorsement of Marco Rubio. You have the endorsement of Jeanette Nunez. You have the Republican establishment behind you. I understand that you don't want to only appeal to Republicans, but that is the driving lane that you have tried to focus on in this primary election. That's what sets you apart from an Alex Pinellas, a Danielle Levine Cava. Am I wrong?
Well, you just mentioned two individuals who are obviously very hyper liberal and hyper left, and they are definitely left of where I stand on the political spectrum. But again, I speak to if there's a liberal that owns a home and pays taxes, I think they would be very interested in making sure their money's not being misspent.
I want to ask you that, because I know that you used the word social engineering there a second ago, hyper liberal, and I know that in some mailers from some PACs, the word socialist or communist sometimes it gets thrown around. I just want to ask you bluntly: do you consider Danielle Levine Cava or Alex Pinellas to be either a socialist or a communist?
Well, there's, living in the United States, it's, nobody's really a communist, right? Everybody's a capitalist, and they're both very wealthy. In fact, they've made a mint of money in their lives, so I don't think they're communists. But are they appealing to a hyper-left crowd in this election? Absolutely.
Give me an example of the hyper-left extreme policy that either Daniela or Alex support, because you're talking in generalities. Give me a specific that you think is hyper-liberal, hyper-left. Social.
Well, I think the more that you take property tax dollars and you move them away from what are the core services and invest perhaps in immigration, for example. Our county government invests money in immigration services. And I not that they're not important, but the private sector does an ample job in that. There's a lot of immigration lawyers in the community.
I guess I'm only interrupting you because I just want to be clear, because I don't understand. When you say immigration services, what county program are you specifically pointing to?
We take, Jim, about $15 million of our county budget of property tax dollars and invest it in CBOs. Many of these CBOs do fantastic work and are worthy of our support. But embedded in that CBO process is programs like immigration services. So we pay through a third party, through property taxes, to provide immigration services for the most part, for folks that are here illegally and are trying to get their status addressed. And to me, that's an example of a misuse of what I believe would be government funds.
Can you identify one of those CBOs, a group?
I don't have them off the top of my head, but I'd be more than happy to send you the info so you have it. But like that, on the CBO side, we fund a lot of programs that could be very questionable, that the county uses, again, property tax dollars to feed a narrative that it goes away again from the core services. This is a difference between a police officer showing up at your house in 5 minutes as opposed to 15 minutes if you are, using money that could help us maybe do the services that we expect, better.
Wait a second. The county is, what's the current county size of the budget? It's, forgetting even capital, you're around $3-4 billion?
Well, the total budget is about $9 billion budget.
But the operating, the taking aside the capital, $3-4 billion. You're talking about $15 million to all CBOs. And do you really think that cutting CBOs is going to make the police arrive at my door faster?
No, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is that we need to look at our entire budget, and CBO is just one example of it. You know, you could look at procurement, you could look at other items within our county operations that end up costing us more money instead of us being able to invest the money where we should be investing it.
You can see more of Jim's interview as well as his interviews with the other candidates by visiting our website, cbsmiami.com/campaign2020.